Hello folks, builders, new builders, friends. Still see a little bit in the comments or potentially from RMAs or people call in that have problems with the low pros. I'm going to show you and do a little walkthrough of exactly how I do it on the vise. Every gun I've ever built, this is how I do it, all right? Here's the first thing you can do just to eliminate anything potentially being wrong. Whether it's the barrel manufacturer, nobody's perfect. You could have a gas port in the wrong location, could be the right location, but you can easily tell if you take out the back set screw, they drill that hole the same time they drill the adjacent hole in the low pro, all right? So I'm just gonna throw it on the barrel, and what I'll do is I'll flip it upside down. Now you'll notice if you come off the shoulder, you can kind of rotate it around and see how much play you have. Another thing to check on this, okay, because I've seen this in comments too, is people wondering if you should come off the shoulder or not. No, jam right up on that shoulder. Even on a non-Hansen barrel where you have a typical, right angle right there, like on a 10.5 barrel or a 60-inch mid with an FSB, you might wonder, ooh, should I come off of that? Because with an FSB, you've got a handguard cap making that space right there. Now you can check and mock it up, but I always like to go all the way to the shoulder because of one simple fact. I'm gonna put my gas tube in my key just a little bit more. Now there's plenty of room in there with that measurement from gas tube inside a block or FSB to be in that carrier key just a little more inside your receiver. So what it does is basically gives you a better seal. So once I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this set screw. I'm just gonna put it on the shoulder, get an idea of where straight up and down is, and just snug it up a touch, just barely, all right? So I can kind of tap and play this. If you get a pin low profile gas block from Ballistic Advantage, you get it with a coil pin at the end of the bag. So when you pull the barrel out, don't throw that bag away, the coil pin's at the end of it, all right? If you're gonna look through that hole, anytime you're looking through or trying to see something, have something bright, like a white piece of paper or something, give me some contrast so you can see anytime you're trying to match a drilled hole through specifically a low pro into the hole that's in the barrel, all right? So I'm gonna eyeball it now and get I'm gonna twist it around, look at it, see if I can eclipse it and then find where the hole's perfect, all right? That's gonna give you the best bet in order to get your coil pin in. So once I find that and I feel good about it, now I'm gonna go ahead and snug it up as if I were to install it. These set screws have teeth on the bottom, so they're biting right into the barrel. Because that's kind of one of the luxuries of having a pin low profile gas block is when you pin it, you don't have to dimple it. I know a lot of people talk about they want to dimple, they want to do all this sort of stuff. I did it for years until we started pinning. All right, but if I have the teeth on the set screws, I'm biting into the barrel. Tiny bit of Loctite. If I want to switch something out, rebarrel, change my rail, it makes it much easier for the do-it-yourself crowd, which is who I'm talking to, the builders out there making things easier for you. So think of that. In terms of security, once we put this pin through, it's not moving. We'll get into that in a minute. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick check down the center of the rig. So I'm pretty straight here. I'm all lined up, I'm secure, all right? It's important to be secure on your set screw so this thing doesn't move when I try to drive in my coil pin, all right? So, got a starter punch. I'm gonna take my coil pin, put my body against the barrel, okay? If anybody watched the older videos in the past, whether you're installing gas tube, coil pin in this situation, or any kind of work you need to do, if you need a mallet on your upper, especially your barrel, you want your body against it. We don't want to be out here beating on it and then this barrel taking all this brunt of the blow, all right? We've just carefully torqued it into the receiver, so we don't want to undo that or do anything that's going to mess with our accuracy or fitment, okay? Plus, that's the whole point of a rail going over it, is to protect it from doing that. But right now during the build process, let's eliminate any of those factors from happening by bracing the barrel, okay? So now, set in, deliberate hits. More is more in these situations. I want deliberate hits pretty hard, and because I don't want to hit it a bunch of times and morph anything or deform the pin. I want to really get it in there, okay? So I'm getting started, and then. Now I did not bottom out because I don't want this to dent my low pro. Some people talk about it, it's a tool. I'm kind of like that. I ding up my gun, but I don't like dinging them up when I'm building them. I don't know what it is, but plus if you're building it, if you're doing it as a gift or something like that, or you're teaching somebody, it's always nice to build your shit and not ding it up, okay? So don't bottom this all the way out. Go with your flat punch next, all right? Flat side, that's gonna get it to where it needs to go next. All right, I'm pretty close, but I can check it now, all right? Check my alignment. All right, so what you want is the same amount of space on each side as your coil pin, just so it's centered. But it's in there really, really good, all right? The coil pin in this case, let's say my low pro is a little canted, okay? This is the whole point here. Because some people are like, oh, it was drilled crooked. No, you've got a touch of play because it's a coil pin. So if you installed it just a little crooked, you could get that pin in there, all right? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna look at it, oh man, this looks crooked. I have some play because it's a coil pin. It'll coil, it'll shrink, it'll morph to that hole that we drilled in it. So I'm gonna loosen my set screws now. All right? And you might even feel it when you loosen it, it pull over into the correct location straight up and down where it was drilled in a machine, okay? So the way our fixturing works, the way it lays into a barrel, it's virtually impossible for us to drill it crooked because it's all centered on the index pin and the low profile gas block fitting in this jig, or in the fixture itself in the machine, okay? So this is all just from when we installed it. Might be a little crooked, but your coil pin was able to enter, all right? So now, all I'm gonna do with these pins loose, I'm gonna take the soft side of my hammer and I'm gonna give it a tap. And you'll notice just that little incremental amount will move over and it'll pull center and your eyes won't be playing tricks on you. You'll see it straight right down the barrel, lined up with that center of the Picatinny, okay? Once that's done, now again, feel free to go ahead and put a little Loctite on these set screws. Snug it up. Now, if you don't have any kind of torque rating tools or anything, just use your brain. Just snug it up. You don't want to strip it. All right, all snugged up. I know I'm straight up and down and I'm secure. It's not going to come off and I'm ready to install the gas tube, okay? Hope that helped you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Let's keep on going with all these other build tips you guys may want to see. I want to do what you guys are asking and talk about what you want to talk about. All right, see you later. Thank you.